report of the Budget and Appropriations Committee on its consideration of the estimates of revenue and expenditure and the medium term for the financial year 2026-2027, laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, 2nd June 2026, and pursuant to the provisions of Article 221 of the Constitution, Section 39 of the PFM Act, Cap 412A, and Standing Order 239, 1, approves the issuance of a sum of 2,930,216,013,184 from the consolidated fund to meet the expenditure during the year ending 30th June 2027 in respect of the votes contained in the first schedule to the order paper, subject to paragraph 3, that is Committee of Supply. 2, makes the policy and financial resolutions contained in the second and the third schedules to the order paper. And 3, orders that the Speaker do now leave the chair to facilitate the consideration of the said budget estimates with respect to each vote and programs in the Committee of Supply as contemplated under Standing Order 240, that is consideration of the estimates in the Committee of Supply. Honorable Speaker, before I make my remarks, I would like first of all to thank the House. The entire House participated in the execution of this budget. Honorable Speaker, when we were going through the budget process, I was very, very excited with the manner in which the entire House participated in the budget process. Honorable Speaker, you know very well that this time of the year, members are very, very busy with their constituents in respect for the campaigns that are coming up. But Honorable Speaker, all members were involved. In fact, when I went through the committee reports, and which were presented to us by the chairman of various departmental committees, I noted the active participation of members. I also would like to thank the members of the Budget and Appropriations Committee who took all their time and participated in the execution of the budget. Honorable Speaker, the attendance was surprising. Even for my members, I had about 99% of attendance during the budget process. I would also want to thank the leadership of the Parliament, including the clerk, and members of staff who always assist us when we are engaging in these processes. Honorable Speaker, I would like to confirm that for this time, we endeavor to reflect the changes that were made by the departmental committees. And members will appreciate if they go through this report that the report contains most of the changes that were recommended. There are a few cases, Honorable Speaker, that based on the consultation that we normally have to do with the National Treasury after the budget committees, after the committees have made their changes, that a few of them were declined. But largely, I would like to confirm that about 99% of the recommendations from committees were accepted. Honorable Speaker, having said that, I would like to take this opportunity now to make a few highlights. First of all, Honorable Speaker, let me say that we are processing these budgets at a time when there is heightened domestic and global uncertainty, characterized by geopolitical tensions, slowing global growth. Honorable Speaker, IMF and World Bank have already revised global growth for 2026 from a high of 4.5. The outlook now reflects 3.1%, the global growth outlook. Even here globally, Honorable Speaker, we have now revised our own growth projection from 5.3% to 5%. And Honorable Speaker, members understand the reason why this is happening. We are having the global oil crisis, which has actually affected us in some ways. We have seen our inflation going up by a high of, in the last 1 month, by 1%. Honorable Speaker, I would like to add that despite all these projected challenges, global challenges and local challenges, this budget endeavors to sustain that economic growth, support productive sectors, protect vulnerable households, and accelerate the implementation of the better, that is bottom-up economic transformation agenda. Honorable Speaker, you realize that this House recently, in an attempt to caution Kenyans against fuel-related inflation, the government recently implemented a reduction in the VAT for fuel from 16% to 8%. Honorable Speaker, this has been very, very important step towards cushioning Kenyans. But however, it has an implication in the projected revenues which we had passed when we were processing the BPS. Consequently, Honorable Speaker, the total budget estimates for the next financial year, 2026-2027, is 4.850 trillion. 4.850 trillion. And Honorable Speaker, this budget is divided as follows. National government, total national government expenditure would be 2.898 trillion. Parliament's projection is 50.98 trillion. Judiciary will get 30.3. Sorry, Parliament will get 50.98 billion. Judiciary will get 30.3 billion. Honorable Speaker, we project devolution to receive 495.5 billion. This will include county shareable allocations as well as the usual national government transfers to counties. Honorable Speaker, I would like to say that this budget, the 2026-2027 budget policy framework, is anchored on accelerating gains made under bottom-up economic agenda for inclusive growth and sustainable growth. Honorable Speaker, we also have to say that there is Vision 2030, which is properly aligned with this budget. And we project, Honorable Speaker, that key sectors will receive enhanced allocations. For example, Honorable Speaker, in this budget, 379.5 billion has been earmarked for programs under BETTER, that is finance and production, infrastructure, social sector, land and natural resources, and governance and public administration. Honorable Speaker, now let me highlight for you the exact allocations for each sector. Honorable Speaker, the education sector will receive the largest allocation of 781.3 billion. Honorable Speaker, as usual, we normally allocate over 30% of our budget to education. Again, this year, we have equally done the same, and this enhancement will be utilized as follows. One, TSC will receive 406.6 billion. 56.7 billion will go to Higher Education Loans Board. 54.6 billion will go to free day secondary school. 30.0 billion will go to junior secondary school and capitation. 7.7 billion will go for free primary education. 30.9 billion will go for scholarship for university students. And Honorable Speaker, let me add that these allocations are expected to strengthen our human capital for the country and equipping young people with knowledge and skills required to help in the participating in our economy, modern economy. Honorable Speaker, let me now move to infrastructure. Honorable Speaker, the road sector alone has been allocated 228 billion. Honorable Speaker, these funds will be used to support construction, rehabilitation, and maintenance of roads and bridges across the country. Honorable Speaker, the transport sector has been allocated 51.8 billion, and these funds will be used for railway development, railway modernization, rapid rapid transit systems, airport upgrades, logistics hubs, ferry services, and development of standard gauge railways, SGR. Major transport projects include 20.8 billion for SGR Phase 2B and 2C, Kenya Shillings 4.2 billion for Dongo Kundu Special Economic Zone, and 3.8 billion for flood mitigation works. Further, manufacturing and industrial sector has been allocated 19.2 billion to stimulate industrial growth, improve competitiveness, and support value addition, and also to create jobs. Honorable Speaker, these investments are expected to reduce the cost of doing business and strengthen Kenya's position as a regional trade and logistics hubs. Honorable Speaker, let me now move to the health sector. The health sector is allocated 175.5 billion, and these funds will be used to strengthen universal health coverage, improve primary healthcare services, and to expand specialized healthcare infrastructure. Key allocations include 20.9 billion for Kenya Medical KEMSA, 19.1 billion for primary healthcare fund, and 18.8 billion for Kenyatta National Hospital, 18.5 billion for global fund for HIV, malaria, and TB programs, and 8.9 billion for UHC health workers. Honorable Speaker, I want to add that the primary healthcare, which is one of the most important anchors for universal healthcare, has continued to receive increased allocations year in, year out. In this financial year, the year which we are about to end, the primary healthcare received about 13.5 billion. This has now been enhanced to 19.1 billion. But globally, Honorable Speaker, it's important to note that in order for us to fully cover primary healthcare, we need an allocation of about 28 billion. We are determined to enhance this allocation, Honorable Speaker, and if resources, if we be able to collect, KRA is able to collect more resources in the year, I want to promise that this committee, this House will be ready to enhance this allocation to the expected, to the required, to the estimated requirements. Honorable Speaker, now let me move to the housing and urban development. Honorable Speaker, housing and urban development has been allocated 138.2 billion, and this will be used to support one affordable housing program, which will receive 110 billion, urban infrastructure, informal settlements, upgrading. Major allocations also include 50.7 billion to construction of affordable housing units, 20.9 billion for social housing, 18.6 billion for Kenya Urban Program, known as KENUP, and 2.7 billion for the Kenya Informal Settlement Program, KSIP. These programs are donor-funded programs, Honorable Speaker, and these programs have been implemented in counties across the country. I think each and every county has a program, has a KSIP and a KENUP program. Honorable Speaker, under environment and natural resources, we have allocated 112.4 billion to support water, infrastructure, irrigation, forest conservation, climate resilience, wildlife management. And Honorable Speaker, significant allocations include 47 billion for water and sewerage infrastructure development, 15.1 billion for wildlife conservation and management, and 14.4 billion for forest conservation, 8.9 billion for financing local allied climate action, FLOCA. Honorable Speaker, FLOCA is one of the major donor-funded programs by a group of donors, including World Bank. And this program has brought a lot of reforms in the water and climate environment sectors. Honorable Speaker, every county in this country is implementing this program, and I can confirm that in my county, this program has done very well to support environment and water programs. Honorable Speaker, under agriculture, we have allocated 63.63 billion to support agriculture and food security, and this includes 18 billion for fertilizer subsidy, 2 billion for seed subsidy, 5.4 billion for food resilience project, 4.7 billion for natural agricultural value chain development, NAVCDP, and 3.3 billion for pastoral resilience initiatives. Honorable Speaker, fertilizer subsidy remains one of the major important anchors for our agricultural performance. Each year, this Parliament has been allocating resources for fertilizer subsidy, and I want to confirm that in this year, that allocation has equally been enhanced. Honorable Speaker, this is one of the allocations that has done very well for us. The country right now does not have sufficient food that has been produced courtesy of this allocation. I want to say that this is sufficient allocation, and it will help in improving our agricultural performance. Honorable Speaker, now let me move to agro-processing. Honorable Speaker, you know that this House has been appropriating resources for a program known as KIPES. That KIPES is supposed to be implemented in all counties, and it is a collaboration between national government and county governments. Over the years, we have now completed about 15 KIPES. In this financial year, Honorable Speaker, we have not allocated resources for development of new KIPES, but what we have are resources that's going to be used to equip those KIPES that have already been constructed and completed. Because we want to ensure that these KIPES can now be turned into centers for innovation, centers for job creation. So, Honorable Speaker, we have allocated 2.45 billion for equipping and operationalization of 15 county aggregation industrial KIPES in counties where both the national government and county governments have fulfilled their respective counterpart funding. Honorable Speaker, I also want to say that there are some counties where the national government has already fulfilled their counterpart funding, but the counties have refused to do their part. Now, those ones, the department committee in charge of trade have assured me that they are going to ensure that they engage those counties to see whether we can be able to fund them in future. But for now, we want to focus more in equipping and modernizing the already completed KIPES. Honorable Speaker, to support women and youth empowerment, we have allocated 61.8 billion to National Youth Service, 10.4 billion for Kenya Devolution Support Program, 22.6 billion for youth programs, over 2.21 billion for internship programs, and 4.7 billion for the National Youth Opportunity towards achievement. That is Nyota program. A further 8.8 billion has been provided for affordable credit to SMEs. These programs are intended to empower vulnerable groups, create economic opportunities, and strengthen inclusive social development. Honorable Speaker, all members are aware of Nyota, and this is a program which was designed and has been implemented and championed by the President himself. I want to confirm, Honorable Speaker, that Nyota program has been game-changing. In Mount County, Honorable Speaker, I know many women groups, many youth groups that have benefited from this program and it's actually changing lives. So the additional resources that we are applying in this financial year is going to be used to further enhance the program and ensure that those groups that received more resources and they are growing, they will be able to receive further allocations. Honorable Speaker, to improve digital access, strengthen e-governance, and create job opportunities with the digital economy, we have allocated 10.5 billion to support digital transformation, expansion of digital connectivity, cyber security systems, and development of digital hubs. Honorable Speaker, in this sector, we have allocated 5.3 billion for Kenya Digital Economic Acceleration Project, 1.5 billion for last mile connectivity, 382 million for digital superhighway cyber security interventions. Honorable Speaker, these are very, very important interventions and allocations, which are important for creating jobs, job opportunities, and also strengthen our e-government services. Honorable Speaker, to support our national security, the national security has been allocated 566.9 billion, and this will be used to strengthen defense, policing, intelligence services, correctional services, and internal security administration. Honorable Speaker, key allocations include 250 billion for defense, 144.4 billion for national police service, 58.6 billion for national intelligence service, and for 2.7 billion for prison and correctional services. Honorable Speaker, these investments, first of all, Honorable Speaker, the security of our country is something which this House should never compromise on. Honorable Speaker, my committee is aware that this is one of the most priority allocations that we must give to ensure that our country is safe. Before we even engage in any production, Honorable Speaker, we must be sure that this country is safe. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, this allocation, even though not satisfactory, are going to support the security sector to ensure that the country is safe and that Kenyans can be able to move around and do their businesses. Honorable Speaker, in conclusion, I would like to say that this budget underscores our commitment to inclusive transformation, economic resilience, fiscal responsibility, and sustainable development. Honorable Speaker, one thing that I want to highlight here is that we have endeavored to ensure that this budget touches each and every corner of this country. This is, again, the second budget under the broad-based government that has been processed to ensure that each and every section of the country, they receive their fair share of development. Honorable Speaker, we have programs under water, we have programs under irrigation, we have programs under roads, electricity, and these programs have been designed to affect each and every section of the country without ignoring any. So, Honorable Speaker, I want to urge members to support these estimates so that we can be able to move quickly and process the estimates. And before the end of the financial year, the estimates would have been signed into law, and therefore Kenyans will be able to continue to receive services. Honorable Speaker, with those many remarks, I would like to finish and I would like to move and request the Honorable Vice Chairman of Budget and Appropriations Committee, Honorable Bukose, to second.
Bukose.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and thank you, my chair, for moving this report on the estimates for the revenue and expenditure for the financial year 2026-2027 and the medium term. Honorable Speaker, just want to join my chair in thanking the various chairs of the committees for the submissions they made before our committee, and I also want to thank members of the Budget and Appropriation Committee